Tomatoes. No vegetable takes to container growing quite like this one, and your choices run from compact dwarfs to full-size plants producing fruit for months. 5 gallons works as the minimum pot size, but bumping up to 10 or 15 gallons gives noticeably better results. Depth matters because tomato roots reach deep, so containers should measure at least 18 to 24 inches from rim to bottom. Determinate varieties stop at a set height and push out all their fruit in one concentrated window, which makes them far better suited for pots than indeterminate types that keep climbing until frost. Patio Princess, Tumbling Tom, Tiny Tim, and Sweet 100 were all bred specifically for container life. Staking or caging keeps heavy fruit from snapping stems, and once summer heat arrives, these plants may need water every single day. Peppers. Container soil warms faster than ground soil in spring, and that extra warmth matters because cold feet stunt pepper growth for weeks. A 3-gallon pot holds 1 large bell pepper, though 5 gallons gives roots room to really spread. Sweet and hot varieties both perform well, and compact cultivars like Mini Bell and Jalapeno Early deliver steady yields without taking over your patio. What makes containers especially useful here is mobility. The same pot can come indoors before frost and overwinter the plant, giving you a head start come spring. Support taller varieties with stakes once fruit starts weighing down branches. Lettuce. Few vegetables grow faster or demand less space, and that shallow root system makes lettuce perfect for containers as small as 6 to 8 inches deep. 1 gallon holds 3 or 4 leaf lettuce plants comfortably. Cut and come again varieties let you snip individual leaves rather than pulling entire heads, stretching your harvest over weeks. Ruby, Salad Bowl, and Butter Crunch all thrive in pots. Lettuce tolerates partial shade, needing only 3 to 5 hours of sunlight daily, which opens up spots that would never work for tomatoes. Hot weather triggers bolting, so grow lettuce in spring and fall, or tuck containers where afternoon shade offers protection. Radishes. Nothing in the vegetable world matures faster, with some varieties ready to pull just 25 to 30 days after you drop seeds into soil. 6 to 8 inches of depth accommodates their small root systems, and spacing plants 1 to 2 inches apart gives each radish room to fill out. Cherry Bell and French Breakfast rank among the best for containers. Direct sow seeds because radishes hate transplanting and keep soil consistently moist to prevent woody texture. The quick turnaround makes succession planting almost mandatory, so sow a new batch every 2 weeks for continuous harvests through spring and fall. Carrots. Straight, well-formed carrots depend on matching variety to container depth and using loose, stone-free potting soil. Short types like Parisian and Thumbelina need only 8 inches, while Nantes varieties with cylindrical roots require 12 to 14 inches. Traditional, long-rooted carrots demand at least 18 inches of depth. Space seeds about an inch apart and thin once seedlings emerge to prevent crowded, deformed roots. Most varieties reach maturity in 50 to 90 days depending on size. Watch for tops pushing above the soil, and if they turn green from sun exposure, hill up potting mix to cover them. Cucumbers. Vining cucumbers sprawl across patios if unchecked, but bush varieties stay compact enough for container life. 1 plant fits in a 5-gallon pot, and Salad Bush, Space Master, and Fanfare were bred for small spaces while still producing full-sized fruit. Cucumbers demand consistent moisture, especially once flowering begins. A trellis keeps vines upright and fruit off the ground, where rot becomes a problem. Expect harvests within 50 to 60 days of transplanting, and pick while fruit remains firm and dark green. Zucchini. 1 plant produces enough fruit for most households, and container growing helps limit the sprawl that devours garden beds. Choose a pot at least 5 gallons in size, though 10 gallons demands less frequent watering. Plants grow large and may need staking to prevent tipping. Zucchini flowers require pollination to set fruit, so if production stalls despite heavy blooming, hand pollinate by transferring pollen from male flowers to female ones. Harvest when fruits reach 6 to 8 inches for best texture. Eggplant. Heat-loving eggplant thrives in containers that warm quickly each spring. 5 gallons holds one plant, and compact varieties like Fairy Tale and Patio Baby produce abundant harvests without growing unwieldy. Eggplant needs 6 to 8 hours of sunlight, and staking supports branches once fruit weighs them down. Start with transplants rather than seeds for earliest harvests. Glossy fruits develop over 60 to 90 days and should be picked while skin still shines before it turns dull. Spinach. Cool temperatures suit spinach far better than summer heat, making spring and fall the ideal growing windows. Containers as shallow as 6 inches work because roots hug the surface. Sow seeds densely and harvest baby leaves for salads, or thin plants to 4 inches apart for larger growth. Spinach bolts quickly once temperatures climb above 75 degrees, so position containers where afternoon shade offers protection. Light frost actually sweetens the flavor. Kale. One of the most nutritious greens you can grow. Kale handles both heat and cold better than most leafy vegetables and keeps producing for months. Choose a container at least 12 inches in diameter for full-sized plants. Lacinato, Red Russian, and Dwarf Siberian varieties all perform well in pots, and kale needs only a few hours of sunlight daily. Harvest lower leaves regularly by snapping them from the stem, leaving the growing center intact. With frost protection, kale keeps producing through winter in mild climates. Swiss chard. Rainbow chard rivals many flowers for visual impact, and varieties like Bright Lights and Ruby Red produce pots that look stunning on any patio. Chard grows in containers about 8 inches deep, and 1 plant per pot allows each to reach full potential. Like kale, chard produces continuously from spring through fall when you harvest outer leaves and leave the center growing. Both leaves and colorful stems are edible, and plants tolerate heat better than spinach. Green onions. Sometimes called scallions, these grow so easily that beginners often start with them. A pot only 4 to 6 inches deep accommodates their shallow roots, and you can plant them just 1 to 2 inches apart. Start from seeds, transplant seedlings, or regrow store-bought green onions by placing white root ends in soil. Begin harvesting once tops reach pencil thickness, pulling every other plant to give remaining ones room to fill out. Herbs. Nearly all culinary herbs thrive in containers, needing only 8 inches of soil depth and 6 to 8 hours of sunlight. Basil grows best in warm weather and keeps producing if you pinch off flower buds to encourage bushier growth. Parsley, cilantro, chives, oregano, thyme, and mint all adapt well to pot culture. Mint spreads so aggressively that container growing actually solves a problem, keeping it from invading garden beds. Harvest by cutting stems rather than pulling leaves, which keeps plants compact and productive. Not the most obvious choice for containers, but broccoli performs surprisingly well in large pots. Each plant needs 5 to 10 gallons because mature specimens spread 2 feet wide. Grow in early spring or fall because summer heat triggers bolting, and cut the central head when buds remain tightly closed. Smaller side shoots continue developing for several additional weeks of harvests. Microgreens, the smallest vegetables you can grow. Microgreens mature in just 7 to 21 days and need containers only 2 to 3 inches deep. Sow seeds densely and harvest when first true leaves appear, just a few inches tall. Radish, sunflower, pea shoots, and arugula all make excellent microgreens with intense flavors. A sunny windowsill provides enough light for growing indoors year-round, making them perfect when outdoor space runs short.